Welcome to Chai After Dark, everyone. I'm here with my co-host Sameem, as always. And today we have a very special guest, Chef Nora Haron, who is executive chef of SanDai and Kopi Bar in Walnut Creek, California, where her menu is inspired by her Indonesian and Indian roots. Hey, Nora.
Hello.
We're so excited to have you here today to talk to us about episode 4 of The White Lotus, called Hide and Seek, which takes place in Thailand. So when the series started, I was like, I want to have Nora come and join us for one of the episodes, because this whole season of the series reminds me of your restaurant decor. So
Yeah. Well, first of all, sawadika. I've never watched any of the episodes until you told me. I've heard about so much about it, and being in the restaurant business, I just never had time to watch TV. I was like, I got to do this one, because when you invited me to this, I said, you want me to do something outside of the restaurant? Of course I would do it. I've been doing something outside the restaurant. When I saw episode 1, season 3, immediately I said, this is some work by the Four Seasons. I bet you, because they're always hella extra. True enough, I looked online, and where was it shot at? It was the Four Seasons. So I'm not surprised, because Four Seasons always deliver when it comes to tropicalness. I love the set. It reminds me so much of Bali. Tropical island. And of course, you said my restaurant, because we're all into that islandy. So I can relate very much. I fell in love with the whole set immediately.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was when you said the greeting, sawadika, right?
Sawadika, yeah.
Sawadika. Yeah, that's much more correct than the way Saxon said it. I was like, what is he saying on the boat?
Yeah.
I was like, he's a disaster.
I found out he's actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
Yeah, kind of a Nepo baby. I don't think we can even say kind of. He's a Nepo baby.
Definitely Nepo baby.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. So when this episode starts, we see Jaclyn's calling her man and he never calls her back. Belinda's son is coming to town tomorrow. He's been coming to town tomorrow for like every episode. So I'm hoping he comes to town, because he's a really good looking guy. He's Ava DuVernay's son. I don't know if you knew, Nora.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. When I first saw him on episode 1, I'm like, okay, when is he coming? When is he coming?
This is, I think this is the second time, maybe the third time that Shabnam has asked when he's coming. So maybe episode 5, we'll see.
Hopefully.
I have no idea, because I have not watched it before, so I had no idea who his mother was until I think episode 2. I put, that must be her son.
Yeah. So he's going to hopefully show up in the next episode. And then we see Tim being like weird as usual, stressed out about his potential jail sentence that could be coming. So the actual scenes kind of start out with Mook asking Gaitok if he's getting the promotion that he was telling her about, which he, exaggerated about. So he says, not yet, we'll see. And then when Gaitok reaches his post, we see Fabian there, who's like wearing a shalwar kameez. And he starts giving Gaitok a lecture about how there's too much crime on the island and he needs to do more than just wave to people as they come by. So this senior security member at the resort gives him a gun and in a case and tells him that he needs to go to the range and practice using it, and he puts it in his desk.
Yeah. Nora, Shabnam and I talked about how much pressure there is on the hotel guests to I don't know, just be cool and rich and whatever they are. But the hotel employees, they're so part of this story that I don't want Gaitok to be the killer. I don't want him to be anything negative, right? But I want maybe the family or Saxon to be the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
He's so innocent.
Well, I am still very worried about him, because he's very distracted. What women does. He's not focused from last episode, letting the robbers in. Was talking to a Russian dude, and he didn't intentionally do that, and then got knocked in the head after that, and then getting distracted again because he didn't put away the gun. So I'm very worried that he might do something stupid again, and what might cost his life. So
Do you,
Yeah.
that's funny. Do you ever have to watch your male employees with your pretty, you know, like you said,
Wait staff.
females? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a problem.
Well, it is nature, right? I mean,
Mm,
I think it's very natural for people to be attracted to one another. If they're beautiful or not, people get attracted to one another over many different ways, not just looks, right? But it is to keep yourself in check when you're in a professional setting, not to do things you're not supposed to do and get yourself in trouble. I try to discourage that as much as possible. Don't, and my mother would always say, excuse my language, don't eat where you shouldn't. Don't
Yeah. Don't
eat.
shit where you eat.
you can
Yeah.
totally use that language. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
Sameem does all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just kidding. So
I'm
do
sorry.
I. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So, it's inevitable. Things like that do happen, sometimes
Mm.
with customers too. So, I mean, it's a
Oh.
little bit different with customers, I think, but internally with staffing, it's a big HR issue, and we totally discourage that. And if that does happen, they have to sign a waiver saying that, release the company from any kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like
White Lotus is definitely going to make Gaitok sign that. They're not going to take any liability for his stupidity.
No way.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's very, very negligent in a lot of ways. So he would do something stupid. Yeah. So
he's just so like innocent and young and excited and full of life. And he's just a bright spot in the middle of this darkness. It almost seems like it might swallow him up. And
yeah.
hopefully it won't. But, it's White Lotus, so probably will.
Yeah. And then just to open the gate up to walk her in, I mean, come on. You're supposed to be standing guard. I mean, you open that gate, and then there's probably going to be another robbery when you do that.
And then we're going to get to it, obviously, but the gun, you knew he was going to mess up with that gun, right? So
I'm like, no, don't give
he's just,
that gun.
He's just such a mess up. I know, but I will say, messing up over Mook, you could mess up over worse women. So why not?
She's the Beyonce of Thailand, apparently. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, in real life, right? Blackpink.
Yeah. Really? Oh, so she's an artist. Okay.
She's a pop star.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so is he. I mean, Gaitok's good looking too.
Yeah, he's a good looking, of course. Oh, yeah. It's a TV show, right? So everybody's pretty attractive. So
Yeah. So then we see the family, the Ratliffs, at their condo, and Saxon is making this giant protein shake, and he forces Lachlan to chug it, even though it tastes like ass. And then Piper says, girls aren't into super jack guys. And then Saxon basically makes fun of her by making some pretty transphobic comments. And then he tells her not to turn their brother into an agender asexual like her. And then she retorts back, he'll turn into a walking dildo like you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on this, so you both can let me know. Do women like jacked guys? I don't know. I can't comment on that.
To an extent, but not when they're crazy like Saxon.
And douchey, right? Personality-wise as well, right? Of course. Yeah.
Also, he had commented saying that she's hot, but she's never had sex before. I mean, what was that about? So I think that was a follow-up to that, right? Because he said, mind your own business and don't get my business, and then just continued on to that.
Yeah, you're right. In the first couple episodes, he's very interested in her sex life, and it's sort of like, why are you so interested in your sister's sex life? So yes, I think you're right. I think he's still making fun of her. It 3 days in, right? I think so. Episode 4 is, they say, 3 days in now. They've been at the White Lotus, so I'd be pretty annoyed if somebody kept saying that to me. Right, of course.
I mean, she was annoyed because her little brother told her that big brother said that. So already there was some tension.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So then Victoria comes out and she's like, did anybody steal my lorazepam? And Piper's like, you don't have enough to get through 1 week. And then Saxon asks her why she even needs them. And she says that she gets anxiety to hang out with new people. And then he's like, but you hang out with people all the time at the country club at home. And she goes, at the country club, I know everyone and I know they're decent people. And then Timothy flashes the whole family.
Come on.
I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know what that was.
It was funny to watch Piper just dug her head into the pillow. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the appropriate reaction is for a daughter when she sees her dad's like entire
Junk.
package, but
Yeah.
but I feel like that was a totally reasonable response. And I don't know what's wrong with him. Is that like the reaction? Like if you have too much lorazepam, you might flash people? Like, I don't know.
I think he didn't know.
He was also jet lagged.
Oh, yeah.
On drugs, thinking he's going to go to jail. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think his wee wee was the lowest of his problems, right? But the reactions were hilarious because Shabnam, we talked about it on the first episode where Victoria and Saxon, like, they loved it that he flashed them because she's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And Saxon just laughs it off. And then Lachlan and Piper, they don't laugh it off, right? They hated it.
Yeah.
So it's like two different reactions within the family.
Yeah, the family has really weird boundaries.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
And all their drug addictions.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So then we see the couple, Chelsea and Rick, and they're having breakfast. She says bad things come in threes. And since there's been the robbery and the snake show, there could be like a third bad thing. And Chelsea's like, this could be some Final Destination type shit. And then Rick's like, lightning doesn't strike twice. And then Rick tells her that he's going to Bangkok for a few days, so he doesn't want to go on Greg's yacht with her. He also won't tell her why he's going to Bangkok, so she starts like crying because he never tells her anything. So he's like, okay, fine, I'll go to the yacht with you to get her off his back.
Yeah. I mean, do bad things happen in threes? I hear that all the time. Is that a real thing? People say it, right? Yeah.
If you think it might manifest, you know?
Yeah.
Is it like is it like an Asian thing or is it because I've heard it too in South Asia.
Especially when it comes to death. They say death comes in threes.
I've heard that. My daughter is half Iranian, and her Iranian family says that death comes in threes. But I don't know. Then they show the three monkeys, right? So speak no evil, hear no evil, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything comes in threes, I guess. You know what's funny? Rick has all these like sayings, right? Like in the previous saying, he's like talking about he doesn't have gas in the car, so he doesn't have energy.
Yeah.
And now he has all these like things that he can say. It's like excuses built in, right? He already has them all loaded up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And then this is the third season too, so I guess everything is in threes. Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
It's three of us today too, right? Special guests. So last week we teased the audience. We had a special guest, but we didn't. Today we do.
Yeah. Today it's real.
Yeah.
Also has had a very tough life. So people who've lived those tough lives, you know, have experienced different things and allergies and different things, I suppose, you know.
And that's what he's saying, right? Rick is saying this guy messed up my life.
Yeah.
So I know he doesn't say it in this scene, but it's coming in a few minutes. But like, yeah, just his whole vibe, you can tell he's had a terrible life. You can just tell, like looking at him.
Just watching him. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, like he almost feels powder keg, like he's going to explode at some point. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to trigger him. He's like a wild card for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue to say, this is the fourth episode from episode 1. Shabnam, I did say, it's recorded, it's on the internet, that he's not a bad guy. So everyone said he was a bad guy. And there was an article that I saw this morning that said he's the third most likely person to be the shooter. I don't agree with that. He's not the third most likely. He's
you know how they do on TV. They portray something bad, and it's always the good one that's the bad one.
So when do you want to do our guesses, Shabnam, by the way?
Just do it now.
Let's do it now.
Ask Nora. Yeah. So Nora, who do you predict is going to be the shooter for the end of the season?
The shooter?
Yeah.
If there's a shooter, because we heard those noises, right? Like it's White Lotus. It could have been anything. Now she's like, oh, I don't know now.
But I feel like I know who's going to die.
Who do you think is going to die? Let's start there.
Yeah, tell us that. Who do you think is going to die?
It's not real. It's not real. You don't.
I think Gaitok is going to die. Only because he's so careless about everything. Somebody's going to shoot him.
Yeah. That's a great theory. I could.
And also because I saw a floating body in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Had a uniform.
Oh.
I don't think. Okay, so Shabnam, you can tell her what happened with us and the body.
I thought it was a crocodile.
I thought I a whole uniform. It
That's
looked
why
like
you.
a uniform.
So that's why you thought it was a crocodile because it was green.
because it was the camouflage. So I think it must be a uniform.
I
Yeah.
swear it was a uniform. It looked just
Yeah.
like Gaitok's uniform.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Okay.
Oh no! I don't want it to be Gaitok either.
I don't want it to be Gaitok either. He's so sweet. He reminds me of like my nephews. They're just like sweet and they might do something dumb, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Who would be the killer bee?
So I guess one thing we can say here is, in the middle of the episode, it does seem like Timothy takes the gun, right? But we don't know that he takes the gun. So I don't know.
Okay. This is a wild guess. I think, what's his wife's name? Vivian?
Victoria.
Victoria. I think Victoria is the killer.
Gosh, can you imagine? She runs out of lorazepam and she goes on a shooting spree.
Mhm.
Why not, right? I mean, that's a great theory. So that's the beauty of this show, right? So we can actually just like walk through who the shooters are and why.
Yeah.
Carrie
She's
Coon's
like-
character, Lori, because resentful, but Victoria just goes nuts.
Yeah, she'll be like, "These are not decent people," and she'll like shoot everyone. That's probably what she'll do.
Ugh.
Finding out is suddenly she's going to be poorer.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
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 Oh,
Interesting.
that's so good. Yeah.
Totally.
And then the other option is Jaclyn. She seems like she's getting like more and more tightly wound as each episode goes by because like her man won't call her back.
Harrison,
She keeps trying to pimp out Lori to Valentin, and starting with the next scene where they like skip yoga to go off to somewhere, and Valentin just is like, go to the pool next door, and it's all these older people, and she's like, she gets insulted. I think he's fucking with them on purpose.
Oh, total. I agree.
I wonder if he's gay, because I was like, is this like a reference to, there's a character, Nora, in the second season called Valentina, and she is bi or lesbian, we're not sure, but like I wonder if he is too, and Jaclyn keeps trying to like hook up with him, and he's like, go hang out with the old people, you know. Like,
Possible.
yeah.
Does he think
So-
they're old? Maybe that's why he sent them to the resort down the beach, right? It
No,
could
I
just be
mean,
that.
I think he's like totally fucking with them, because he first started telling some of them that they look 20 years younger, and then he told Kate that she was just average for her age. Now he sent them to the senior citizens pool, and then he sends them later in the episode to get soaked by the Thai children.
Oh, for the new year, yeah.
Yeah.
The full moon party.
Yeah.
And then they met two of the Russian guys. One
Oh
in
yeah,
white.
man, those guys look dangerous.
Yeah, and they
They
totally
could
look
be
dangerous.
one of the robbers, maybe the ones that robbed the store.
Yeah, because Nora, you're
Oh.
right. Because when you brought up that Gaitok leaves the gate open,
Yeah,
Valentin is the one distracting him,
right.
Oh yeah.
right? He's the one holding up the
Yes.
gate with his motorcycle. So I said that in the first episode that this could be a whole setup with Gaitok and Valentin, and if it's just Gaitok, then he's just doing it to impress Mook. But if it's Valentin, then you're right. Those guys look like professional robbers, by the way. Those Russian guys.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
And
Interesting.
one of them has those snake tattoos, which there was all these like snake symbolism in the episode with the robbery too, and in the jewelry store.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
and didn't he steal the snake from the jewelry store?
Yeah.
And then maybe he got the tattoos afterwards.
Oh.
knows?
See? We're talking this out, and we're going to figure this out by the end of the episode. By the end of today's episode, we'll know
Pretty
everything.
sure the whole scene of Valentin distracting Gaitok
Mhm.
with the gate. Yeah. Those are all connected. I believe so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's going to be
It's so
good.
funny.
We're convinced.
We're
It's so funny.
convinced.
He came back to when they were walking now. What was her name again? The one who got bit by the snake?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I'm just gonna check on her. And then you hear, I got bit by a snake. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah. So the
Didn't
snake.
even give her a day off.
Also, Shabnam, that's more snakes.
Yeah.
That's another snake reference. All the
Yeah.
snakes, the real snakes.
There's so much snake and monkey symbolism in this. I feel like I want to study Buddhist and East Asian snake and monkey references now.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
monkey references in Indonesia? Like,
Oh yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
In Bali, there's monkeys everywhere. I got monkeys on my wall right now.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Nice.
And
Do they have like a meaning to them that you know of?
she's like, nah, they're just monkeys.
Yeah, you just hold on to your belongings really tight because they
Yeah.
steal.
Oh man.
Throughout the whole episode 1, 2, 3, the fourth one I think was the only episode I saw, or was it the third one that I actually saw some Thai food. Every other eating scenes were continental breakfast, and
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I wanted to see more Thai food. I feel
Did you see anything
Oh.
specific?
it was fish. I saw fish. Then I saw something in a banana leaf. I couldn't make out because it was really fast. They didn't focus very much, but every other scene was fruit and tropical fruit, which is great. I saw a lot of dragon fruit. I saw a lot of watermelon, which is they're all great. I mean, fruits in Asia. You go to Thailand, Indonesia, Bali, you're gonna have all these fruits, and you're like, I never knew they tasted this good because you
Yeah.
can never have those flavors here.
No,
Yeah.
never.
Maybe in some farm in San Diego where they have tropical weather, but not up here. Mm-mm.
Okay,
Sameem,
well,
you gotta
I
find
guess
that
I know.
farm.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I guess I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go look for tropical fruit in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see more, like culture. Like, why wasn't there more, like we saw the dance,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
food, like Thai food. I want to see that. It was,
Mm.
why aren't the people talking about that?
Yeah.
I hope maybe the ladies will eat some Thai food in the next episode when they're out
I
and
hope
about
so.
in town.
Some kind
Yeah.
of secret fruits and
Yeah.
pancakes.
Yeah, I know.
And then this is a great reference, Nora. But in the beginning of the series, there's the poisonous fruit.
Oh, right.
Right.
So we can't forget about that. We bring it up every episode because they reference it one time, and I'm wondering. And then Shabnam, the protein shakes that you brought up
Oh,
today
yeah.
with Saxon and Lachlan. Come on.
Is he gonna die
It's-
by protein shake?
Yeah. So there's other stuff going on beyond gunshots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
You might run out of bananas and put that poisonous fruit in there, and then.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was told,
Yeah.
the butler lady told him that it was poisonous, right? He told Sexton, so hopefully he won't do it, or maybe he'll poison someone else.
Yeah. Or, yeah, I mean, that whole family is going to lose their minds when they find out they're poor. So who knows what they'll do with the fruit. So then we get the yacht. A bunch of the characters are going on Greg/Gary's yacht. So Chloe and Gary welcome the Ratliffs to the yacht. Victoria asks Gary what he did before retirement, and he says government work and investing. And she's like, maybe he knows some of the same people as Timothy, since Timothy's in finance. And then we see Rick and Chelsea arrive, and Chelsea says, this looks like an old oligarch's boat. He must be loaded. And then Chloe introduces Chelsea and Rick to everyone. Timothy seems to get uncomfortable when he sees Rick, which it feels like, did they know each other? Because then he excuses himself and he says he's going to the bathroom, and he goes and takes a bunch of Victoria's lorazepam. So it almost feels like maybe he knows who Gary is and he's like freaked out or something.
I think with Timothy, what's going on is like Mike White and White Lotus is trying to show so much desperation. Like when you have an itch that you can't scratch, and I know that's like a very small thing compared to what he's going through, but imagine the weight of the world on your shoulders. Your life is about to collapse.
Yeah.
So I think he's just going through excruciating pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're trying to show. So I've never done lorazepam. It's for like anxiety, right? Like from what I
it's
can
for
tell
anxiety.
from those
Yeah.
TV commercials, like, when they come on. But I think he's just
No,
going through
I-
like crazy shit. Like his brain is just melting and he just doesn't know what to do.
So my dad had strokes and he takes some lorazepam shortly after, but it's for like short periods of time to like really make you calm. Like if you're like super agitated. And it wears off after like a short period of time. It's not like a mood stabilizer or something that lasts for a long time.
Oh, so that's
And
why he keeps grabbing it.
That's why he keeps popping them. Yeah. Cause they wear off like in a few hours or whatever.
Do you remember when Gary said, who said, either Gary, somebody said, when you come to Thailand, you're either seeking something or you're away from something.
Yeah.
So because both are running away from something, they're connected,
Yeah.
So that's why it feels like they know each other, because they're on the same vibe.
That's
a
so
great
true.
point. He might be there to help. Maybe nothing happens and Gary just helps because Piper is going to tell the parents that she wants to stay in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad now has to stay in Thailand. Otherwise, he's going to get arrested when he gets back to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be
And-
another Quinn situation from series 1 where he wanted to stay in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But that was for a different reason, obviously. But it's very similar to actually Piper's reason because he wanted to connect with Hawaii and she wants to connect with Thailand. So maybe they all stay and they all live on
Yeah.
Gary's boat forever.
Yeah. Maybe they do something for Gary and Gary gives them some money. Who knows?
That could be correct too. I mean, there's too much going on now. Now I think so. Nora has her theory. Maybe we do Shabnam's theory now. Who's the shooter?
You go first. I'm not sure yet.
Okay,
If you have.
Yeah, I have a few theories, obviously, because that's what the show wants you to think. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's Rick because it's too obvious if it's Rick. Like,
Yeah.
I already said he's a hitman. He's not a hitman. But I did say he wants revenge in episode 2, and I was right because he literally says, I want revenge, right? So I think it's going to be... So Zion gets out of the pool, right, with Amrita, and he's yelling for his mom. Gary Gregg looks up Belinda. Is he going after her? So Zion goes and protects his mom. So maybe it's Gary Gregg is what I'm saying.
Well, I think even though Rick is the obvious person, I think it's going to be Rick because I wonder if Srithala's husband comes back to the resort and then he goes after Srithala's husband and that escalates. And then you know that all the guards are going to try to defend him and Srithala. So
It's a shootout.
It might turn into a shootout. Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go, listeners. 3 different theories. and we'll change our minds next episode, obviously. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll change our minds by the end of the episode, probably.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another theory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, you think it might be Mook as a shooter? She's too sweet. What would make her so mad? She's been so even-tempered.
She's with the bodyguards. And they're bad. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe they used her.
Maybe she's honeypotting. You know what honeypotting is? Honeypotting? Maybe
No,
she's the honeypot.
Remember the security guards, bodyguards, the boss's bodyguards. Remember they were talking shit to Gaitok?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Mhm.
So they're going to come after Gaitok, you think?
Like a jealousy thing? Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
the worst reason to murder someone, but that could be interesting. Yeah. That'd be a very different reason.
It would be the worst, but it's also very common, right?
Yeah, I mean, killing for passion. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's why I said last episode, let's do something different, like Rick for revenge, but then he says he wants revenge, so that's why I don't think it's Rick. Shabnam, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
I also don't think it's Rick because it'd be too obvious, and he's the craziest one.
But I feel like maybe that would be some reverse Jedi mind trick by Mike White if he does like the obvious thing and everyone's searching. I don't know.
As a reminder, the first series was one body. They show Pete. They reference it's his wife. It's not his wife. It ends up being the hotel manager. Accidental death. That's the first season. Second season, multiple bodies. None of the bodies are the hotel guests. Ends up being Shabnam, just like we're talking about right now. It ends up being kind of like mobsters, right? Gay mobsters.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
gay mobsters from Italy.
Yeah. And then they
Wait, hold on. The first season was his wife? I didn't even get that far.
yeah.
It's all good. We're doing series 3, or season 3.
You
so
should
it's all good.
it's really interesting. You should go back and watch
And
it, but
and
yeah.
it's short too. It's only 6 episodes. Season 1.
Yeah.
And it's one body, and I already ruined it, I guess, but it's not his wife. And
Yeah.
Loaded into the plane. I thought it was his wife.
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to think, but then it throws you for a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but season
So
1 was
then-
cool, yeah. That's why we don't know, right? Because we know what happens in the previous seasons, and it's hard to guess, obviously.
Yeah. So then there's like all this crazy stuff that happens on the boat, and there's all this talk of like money and why people live in Thailand and old white men with young, really hot East Asian women.
LBHs.
Yeah. LBHs. Yeah, with these like hot young Thai women, and you know, how did they meet? They meet online, and like all this kind of talk. And then what's making you laugh?
I don't know, man. Like that guy sitting there, and she doesn't have a Thai accent, and then she says we met online. Do you know what scene I'm referring to.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're referring to. Yeah.
And she's like, we need to get married. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think I would not trust myself to go to Thailand after that scene. Like, especially if you're single. Like, it seems like a dangerous place.
Yeah, and you know what Sexton said, right? Dating a woman in Thailand is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because that's scary as well. Yes. Thank you for scaring me further. So they call them losers back home, right? And I don't know anyone that got married from Thailand or, you know, any other exotic destination, but would you care?
Pakistan's not exotic
if you had a friend that did that? I don't think I'd care.
I just put you in a bad position.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get yelled at. No, but seriously, like, okay, Shabnam, we're friends, right? And if I went to Thailand and I brought home my wife, like, what would you say? Like, would you be like, what are you doing? Like, she just wants the green card, right? Like, I don't know.
First, would you check the package?
Yeah, I'll check the package before we leave. But no, I mean, I wouldn't do it, obviously. I already talked about I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be a John.
I'm saying, like, you've had interesting people that you've dated in the past, and I think eventually it's like, okay, whatever. If they're cool and you're cool with it and you guys are happy, then it's like fine.
So I thought she was cool, is what I was going to say. I was like, if that's how they are, then maybe I will go to Thailand, right? That guy's wife or his fiance or whatever. She wants to be his fiance, I think. So whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they're out
What
there.
did he mean by, he said she's on the title or something? Like, he bought her property?
Right?
Yeah.
Because she wanted to get married. You're talking about the same couple that we're talking about, right?
Yeah. The older white man and this, like, hot Thai woman with a lot of cleavage.
Yeah. Was he bald too? Because they're all the white males were all
He
bald.
actually had hair. That guy had, like,
he actually had hair,
like stringy, like kind of like blonde, gray hair. So that's funny. He wasn't even bald.
Yeah.
But Victoria's like staring at them, right? Because they're kissing each other, like, you know, very lovingly. It's cute. And then she's jealous. You can tell. Then she's like, where did you meet? And he online. And she's like, I had a cousin that met someone online. Actually ended up being a really decent person.
She's like such an oddball. She doesn't belong there at all. It's like really weird.
You don't think that she can shoot. So that's why they divert you that way. See?
I see. Yeah, maybe. Maybe all she needs is to get out of her lorazepam haze and she'll be like a sharpshooter, I guess.
Because Tim took all of the pills, right?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. She's asking where the pills are. Her husband's like falling apart. It's pretty obvious where the pills are. They're inside him.
Yeah.
Where do you think they are?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a plot hole. I'm going to say that's a plot hole. Like, you're missing pills. Your dad's falling off the couch in the condo in the previous scene.
Yeah.
And Saxon's like, what's wrong with Dad? And he's like, nothing. Of course there's something wrong. You're falling off the couch. So, and your balls are out. So, of course you took the pills.
But they're such a dysfunctional family that doesn't talk to each other.
They don't care about each other. Yeah. They forget.
I feel like, and I feel like Victoria, she can tell it's him, but she can't be direct, you know? That's my theory.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So on the yacht, Piper has this like tender moment with her dad where she thanks him for taking her on this trip and for taking a break from his phone. And then he starts crying and he says he loves her and that she's perfect. And then Victoria comes back and tells him that all her pills are missing and she doesn't like any of the people on the boat. And that's why she needs the pills because like they stress her out. And then Piper tells her not to be judgmental. And Victoria says, Piper, you're just as judgmental, if not more than I am. And she says, don't judge me. I'm your mother. And so I feel like, do they kill each other? I don't know. Maybe Piper's going to kill everyone. I don't know.
Oh.
She wants to be a monk. She can't be killing people.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah. It's not really aligned with her. It's aligned with her roots, not with her where she's going.
Her roots? Come on.
I mean, just because like they're so stressed out right now, you know?
He was like, my grandfather was governor of North Carolina. Like, I'm like, okay. So this family comes from a lot. They're telling you that all they care about is being rich and perceptions. Because then he says, thank God my mom's dead. And then he's like, thank God my dad is dead. And then he says, thank God my parents are dead. He says it 3 times. But because he didn't want them to see that he's about to go to prison.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to shame them because their entire family worth is this like status and money that they have. The higher you are, and if that's all that matters to you, the longer you have to fall, right? So he's falling, and it's wild. It's going to be a wild ride down. So then there's different scenes with the other characters, and Belinda finally gets irritated enough to Google Greg. It's like, and she finally sees that he's wanted for questioning in Tanya's death. And I'm like, okay, finally she puts it together. I thought she had it like when she saw him in the first episode, but I guess it's taken her till now to realize that.
You know, it says BLM, right? When she
Where?
actually Googles him, he actually was part of BLM, Bureau of Land Management. It says that on the computer. When she Googles him, it says BLM. That's the joke from the first season. Yeah. So he actually is part of BLM.
Oh, but it's Bureau of Land Management instead of Black Lives Matter.
So that's his job,
man.
for real. So he didn't lie to Tanya. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. So does that mean that he's not really a liar? Are they trying to tell us that like maybe he does tell the truth?
Maybe he didn't do shit. I don't know.
Why was he looking her Instagram?
Yeah, at the end, Greg looks at her Instagram too, and he really focuses on the picture of her and the son. So I think he looks her up because they walk past each other in the hall at some point in the episode, and they kind of both are looking at each other as if maybe they do know each other. So he saw her in the first season when he started dating Tanya, and Tanya and her were, you know, friends, and she was working with Tanya. But I don't know why he's so focused on the picture of her and her son at his graduation. That worries me. I'm like, is he going to go after the son?
I mean, he doesn't go after the son because the son is getting a wellness session with Amrita when the shooting starts.
Right, that's true.
So he's, if anything, he's going after Belinda.
Belinda for sure. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I would say Belinda number one. I don't want her to get killed.
Yeah.
Not after she got her groove back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is her eat, pray, love. And hey, Nora, we'll bring it up now too, but Belinda and Porn Chai, sexiest couple on TV today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
right, Shabnam?
They were so good. They were so good. Yeah.
They're still going strong too, right? He's gonna help her, by the way, because she starts talking to him, right?
Yeah, I think so too. She's confiding in him. And we were saying we just really like that Mike White is highlighting this interracial couple where neither party is white. And he's like highlighting them in this way that's like very steamy and romantic. No one's taking advantage of anyone. It's like a sweet romantic story. It's really beautiful to see because you don't always see that. Yeah. So,
watch, he ruins it, and Pork Chai comes in hot with the guns.
and how he said, "I hope I get to be in your dreams" or something, and she told
that's so cute.
That was so cute, so cute.
So cute. So
okay,
cute.
now I'm starting to get worried. Is Porn Chai a bad guy? Because misdirection is everything.
Yeah, that's true. I really hope not. Can't Belinda have one nice person? You know, everybody else has been crazy to her.
Yeah, her friend died. Now Greg's here. Like, yeah, I get it. She needs a break.
Yeah. So after the yacht kind of comes to a close and everyone's done their shenanigans, Rick tries to leave because he wants to go to Bangkok. And Chelsea's like, no, you can't go to Bangkok. This boat is going to continue on to, what's it called? A moonlight party?
The full moon party.
Full moon party. Yeah. Which, do you guys know what a full moon party is?
I've never been to a party. I don't know.
So a full moon party apparently is like some famous thing where it's a rave party that goes all night, and it's on like some kind of beautiful exotic beach. So that's what a full moon party is. So that's
it's not part of the holiday that they were talking about.
Oh, I don't know. Unless
holiday?
There was a holiday, that they talked about. So I know that what I'm talking about is also called the full moon party, but I don't know if there's like something else that's like a Thai full moon party is different or something. I don't know. No. Sameem, did you Google?
I was trying to remember the name of the Thailand New Year. It's called Songkran. And so the Thailand holiday that you're referring to is called Songkran. Valentin literally says Songkran, and that's why they're shooting the water pistols. But then it's kind of like holy, right? Or what's the big deal? It's just water. I didn't realize that getting that wet was that uncomfortable, especially in humid heat. So I thought their reactions were hilarious when they were getting all watery.
The women, yeah.
Yeah, but the idea behind the water is to sort of wash away your sins or a new beginning. That's the idea behind the water. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's pervasive in other countries as well. So I don't know, but it's definitely in Thailand. So that's what's going on. That's why they're getting wet.
So the children clocked it that these women need to like wash away some sins. So they're like,
oh, they knew.
They're like, yeah.
Those kids knew. These women are catty. One thing I'm going to say about these women, and I know, look, I'm going to take some stuff back. And I went a little off on these women. What if it's just a normal 3-person friend group and this is just how it is? But what if it is? And they're just like catty, but they're not that catty, and they still love each other, and nothing happens.
It could be, or one of them could be the shooter. But you know what else is a plot hole? Is how did they get from inside the store to that outdoor bar? They just get stuck in that store. They can't go out. And nothing ever happens.
The kids, they were waiting for them in the front.
Yeah, no, the kids were waiting for them at the front. So it's like, how did they get to the outdoor bar?
And their hair was dry. Their hair was dry. I don't know, but I think you're right. Valentin's definitely messing with them. So the reason why I don't think they're bad is because if we do the whole like Valentin storyline, it could just be that he's like, I'm tired of these American, British, Canadian, whoever women coming to our resort demanding everything, and I just want to mess with you.
Treating me like a piece of meat.
Treating me like a piece of meat. I don't want to have sex with your friend. Why do I have to just because I'm a male? I actually don't like that. You're totally right. I'm glad you said that because we talked about this, Shabnam, that, you know, forcing people together like that. We don't like that.
Yeah.
The connection when they were at the table talking about if one of them was a Trump supporter, we voted for Trump, right? And the guys being Russians, so maybe that was a clue. Russians.
Ooh, some political drama, man.
Because you're right. Yeah, this is filmed during the war. That's why they said, "Are you okay?" They asked him in the first episode, "When did you get out?" And he's like, "I got out before the war." You're totally correct. Oh wow, yeah. This is a lot of wow. He gets politics in there. He gets everything in there. So
he gets everything in there, and you don't even know like that you're learning something while you're being entertained. It's wild. He's super, super amazing. So, like I said, the yacht excursion ends. Rick goes off to Thailand, and Chelsea's pissed about it, so she stays on the boat for this full moon party. And then we also see that the family, like Saxon, goes up to his dad and says, oh, him and Lachlan are going to stay on the boat for the full moon party. And Piper's super upset because she wanted Lachlan to come to dinner with the family because she's planning to tell her parents that she wants to stay in Thailand for a year. And she wanted Lachlan's support, and you know, she's pissed, and Lachlan's just like, whatever, I have to do what Saxon says because I have no mind of my own. And then Victoria is surprised. She's like, you guys want to stay on the boat longer? She's so weird. What does she like to do besides take lorazepam?
Get high. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They're the rich people. That she would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do rich people do? I don't know. What do they do day to day? They just watch their big TVs and their big houses, right? So whatever. That's what she wants to do. And they're not going to have that house anymore, right? So,
yeah.
One thing we should say here also is Chelsea and Rick have their moment on the boat, right? Shabnam, when we refer in the beginning, he says, I'll go on the boat with you, but he doesn't say why he wants to go to Bangkok. Then she's like, come here with me, takes him to the back of the boat. And I thought she was going to throw him overboard or something. But and then she's like, no, you have to tell me. And then he tells her. And then they actually have a pretty deep conversation. And she's like, what are you going to do? Kill him?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out here, and this is subtle. She said, I know who you are. I know what you do.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is he a hitman? So we're back to this.
I told you. This is what I'm telling you. See, you're coming back around to my theory.
Yeah. Well, my theory. Come on, man. That was my theory. No, it wasn't.
You said he's a good guy.
I know. I said it. I know. I can't take it back now because he is actually being good. He also saved the snakes. Let's not forget he saved all those poor snakes.
He let them expel their venom into his fiancée.
Nora, do you like snakes?
Oh, no. When I saw him, I was like, what was he smoking? It wasn't weed.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, so I looked it up. I thought drugs were completely illegal in Thailand. Weed is decriminalized, and there's pot shops all over Thailand.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's why he gets weed so easily. He walks into that store in the city, he gets weed really easily, and then he goes nuts, and you're totally correct.
Yeah.
He goes after the snakes.
So it's legal.
Yeah,
It's just not
it's legal.
regulated. So
Well,
you
it's
might be
decriminalized,
some-
right? So you can
Yeah.
just buy it, I guess. Yeah. Weed.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the weed
Yeah.
is like in Thailand. Apparently, it makes you makes you crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he did say it was laced with something else.
Yeah.
He did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know.
So then we get back to the hotel, and this is where like the last little crazy stuff happens. So the family ends up having dinner, right? So actually Piper in this episode, she never actually gets out that she wants to stay there, right? Because Victoria just starts talking shit about the people on the boat and how they cheat on their taxes, and there's probably a killer on the boat, which is actually hilarious because she might be right. And then Piper says, you know, you guys cheat on your taxes too. And Victoria says, yeah, but not so badly that we'd go to jail. And she tells Piper that Piper's lucky to have a father who's a Boy Scout. And all this time, Timothy's freaking the fuck out because he's not a Boy Scout and he could go to jail. So he goes back to get his phone from the lobby, and he gets his phone and he talks to his lawyer. And as he's talking, he walks all the way down to Gaitok's security station. His lawyer's telling him, you need to plead guilty. And then he's like, but that means I won't be able to work in finance. The lawyer tells him your assets are probably already frozen. You could lose your house and you're going to have to spend a few months in federal prison. And then Timothy says, I'd rather fucking die. What am I supposed to tell my family? That we're fucking poor and I'm going to jail? And then Timothy says, you know, Timothy sees Gaitok's gun on the desk and it looks like he steals it. But we don't really know for sure. Yeah. And then he goes back to the dinner. But there's a funny scene where like the gun's supposedly in his pocket and he goes back and the lady's like, hey, can I have it back now? Meaning his phone. And he like feels guilty. So I think he did take the gun.
I don't know.
I think so too, because excerpt for episode 5 at the very end, it looked like he had the gun. Did you see it?
I didn't. I should have watched that. I didn't watch it yet. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Especially because when Gaitok comes back, there's no gun in the case, and so
and it's
like,
quick, right? It's like
it's
all. So he walks Mook to the hotel, right? That's why
Yeah.
Gaitok is gone. And Nora, you're completely correct. He messes up over a girl. It wasn't because he's dumb. It's because she's like, look at my outfit. And by the way, she looked amazing. Like I don't know.
she did. Yeah.
Like I was like, I paused it. So
Also, Tim did look over. Like he looked through the window. He did do that.
yeah,
Like,
and he threw up. He
do.
throws up, right? That's
Right.
why he's looking down, and then he looks up. So yeah, I don't actually. It's great series making, TV making, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
It's got to be him. But you're right about this whole Mook honeypot theory, because every time something goes wrong, she's also like a distractor.
And then she's like,
right?
it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I shy away from girls that don't say anything and only giggle. So
Could be either Victoria or Mook.
Yeah. I feel like she's out of his league and she's still acting like she's so into him so easily, which makes me feel more like she's like distracting.
no, I disagree. I don't think she's acting like she's into him. I think she's acting nice and just trying to be like, okay, I'll be your friend. She's friend zoning him. Like she's just friend zoning him. She likes the attention. And I think there's some honeypot situation going, but it might just be like honeypot for something small. Might not be like big, because the robbery already happened, right? The smash and grab. So what else are they planning? They're going to do another robbery at the White Lotus? I don't know. Would be kind of wild.
Did she say yes to the date that he was planning?
Yeah, that's a great point. Shabnam, I don't think she actually ever says yes. He keeps saying, I'll see you tomorrow, and she doesn't really respond. And at the end of it, she says, okay. And that's all she says. And then she turns around. So Nora, great call out. I don't actually think she accepted the date.
Yeah, I never heard her.
Interesting.
This Gaitok book stuff is getting a little, I didn't think this is where we would end up, but it opens with them, right? So who knows?
Yeah, this whole time, and I feel like this is intentional, this whole time you're seeing that they're staff, so maybe you should pay less attention to them. And then they keep having these small little scenes and it doesn't really make sense. But I'm wondering if that's intentional and that's the surprise, that they're going to be a big part of what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. So a couple other scenes really quickly, just like we do always at the end. Shabnam, I got 2 little call outs and they're kind of interesting. So remember when I said Chelsea says I love you to Chloe and I said it was weird?
Uh-huh.
And then you made a very good point. You're like, they're just two women that met and they love each other 2 days in, right? When she gets on the boat, she says, "This is my best friend Chloe. We only met 2 days ago."
Yeah.
It's a little bit too attachy. There could be something else there too. Because why else is Chloe, I don't know. Why are they so attached to each other?
Yeah, that's true.
There's something strange going on there too.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're both into rich white men.
I mean, aren't we all? Nora's like, no, don't put words in my mouth.
Not me.
It's okay. You can talk about white men very openly on this podcast. We have before as well.
Yeah, rich, yes, but not white.
Well, you know where you need to go. They're not all white at the White Lotus, you know. Zion's there. I guess he's not rich, so.
His mom is Ava DuVernay. I'm sure he's got something.
Yeah. Okay, so Nora needs a rich man. We've outlined that. So the second thing I was going to bring up really quick, so aside from Chelsea and Chloe, Amrita is the one that pushes Rick to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
To tell Chelsea. Yeah. Because she's like, she says a really interesting line. She says he can escape from the karmic cycle and find peace in his life. And so you're saying maybe that made him think about telling Chelsea the truth?
Because he looks out like kind of into space and then he ends up telling Chelsea. And Amrita's only in that one scene.
Yeah.
So she plays a role in getting him to confess, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I could see that.
Beautiful, by the way.
So beautiful.
I'm glad you said that.
Should we drop a surprise?
Yeah, what are you
Shabnam, tell it. Let's tell everyone. Yeah, you're right. Let's tell the listeners.
So we have interviewed Shalini Pieris, who plays Dr. Amrita, and we are going to drop that episode at the end of the season. And she was so wonderful. She's so beautiful. She's like even more beautiful in, not in person because we didn't see her in person, but virtually talking one-on-one. She's super beautiful and super amazing.
Yeah, she is very beautiful. I am attracted to her. Yeah.
There you go. Nora is attracted to Amrita, played by Shalini Paris. We will drop that episode end of April.
There's 8 episodes of White Lotus, so we'll drop it sometimes before mid-April or something.
Yeah. So that interview is already recorded. We actually talk maybe 2% about White Lotus and 98% about her journey. She was a human rights activist. She worked for the Human Rights Commission in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
She was going to go into academia, and she spent many years honing her acting craft. So that episode will be out mid-April, everyone.
Congratulations on the interview.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. It was phenomenal to be able to get her. And thank you so much for joining us, Nora. It's been so fun talking this with you. And thanks for watching TV for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really fun.
I'm hooked.
Yeah. Watch more.
Yeah.
The episode airs on Sundays, right?
Yes, episodes are on Sundays, and then ours come out on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, can't wait to listen, to watch in again. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. Everybody, please check out Chai After Dark on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Where else, Shabnam? Facebook, maybe?
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook. Also, we're releasing the Mindy Project episodes on Patreon. We have 3 episodes there, and we're going to be dropping episodes almost every week for the Mindy Project. And she's kind of crazy, and it's fun to talk about. So I think everybody should go listen to those episodes.
Yeah, so find us on patreon.com/chaiafterdark. Join there if you want to support us. And also like, subscribe, and write us a review on Apple, and subscribe on Spotify, Apple, all of the platforms. Thanks, everyone.
Cool. Thank you, Nora. Bye, everyone.
You just so good, too.
Thank you. Wow. Okay, well, let's play this jingle and let's get out of here. Bye.
Yeah.